country. I don't care what you say. It's none of your business. First of all, in this country, we have what's called the First Amendment rights, okay? Which I can say whatever the I want, okay? Maybe these don't know. What are you taping me?
Stop. Do not go in. Do not hit anybody. Don't do anything.
Yeah, he's taping me.
Why did you do that?
He's taping me.
Why did you
Then please grab your mother. Grab your mother. That is your mother. Grab her.
This is the woman. Stop touching me. She will not stop touching me.
Grab your mother.
That's not right.
She will not stop.
Right now.
Yeah, this may be a throwback Karen, but classic Karenicity exists. Let's dissect what it means. A common line is, in this country, and then they start citing the Constitution. Well, you know, the Constitution, the part you're citing, actually applies to everybody. So just like you have the right to say what you're saying, the person who's saying they don't like what you're saying because you sound ridiculous saying it has a constitutional right to say it too. That's how the Constitution works. I am somewhat perplexed as to why her son or whoever was there did not intervene and try to stop her from committing an actual crime. You see, this is when it goes from the constitutionally protected thing, which is your verbal speech, to the criminal thing, which is physical assault. And in her mind, she's well within the confines of the law and the Constitution because the other person is not deserving of her respect. All right, what do you see here? The privilege to me is unreal.
Absolutely. I would like to ask you a question, Dr. Richey, about it. This use of the name Karen to label white privileged females, which is basically what these people are. I'm married to a woman named Karen, and I'm a constituent of Karen Bass's here in LA. And I wonder if there's any conversation about renaming people white privileged females as WPFs or some other name other than Karen, because of all the Karens who are sympathetic to the cause and to the issues at stake, but who are stigmatized by that phrase.
Hell no, not for me. They will be called Karens on this show. And let me tell you why, brother. First of all, since the 18th century in the United States of America, we've had various terminologies to represent meddlesome individuals, such as Debbie Downers. We've had Becky. We've had, even in my culture, they've said Tyrone, etc. We have utilized these terms and we have understood what they meant. They're pejoratives, all right? Now, an individual who happens to be named Karen, I have friends that are named Karen. One of my best friends, her name is Karen, right? But she's not a Karen. So she doesn't get upset because of the name Karen. She understands how it's utilized in the context of our social and our language, in our language lexicon. I don't find it necessarily racist when somebody says Karen. I know that's the pushback sometimes.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. Just to be clear, I'm not saying that it's racist. I'm just saying that it creates a stigma for people who've had that name for, I mean, it's a name that's completely gone out of fashion, but there are a number of people in their 50s that have it and who are stigmatized by it. And I just wondered what and you're telling me your thoughts on it, and I appreciate
yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna always tell you my thoughts, brother. Like there will be absolutely no restriction on that. And I appreciate you bringing it up because I actually talk about it often on my radio show and sometimes on social media. We have had a list of about 20 plus names during different eras that represent meddlesome people. If you look at the history of my show, all of my Karens are not white, obviously. It really speaks to a privilege. All of my Karens aren't even women. Many of them are men who exude a type of privilege that says, I deserve to be here and you do not. Well, it's a catch-all phrase, right? I did not hear people complain, at least not to the level I hear about Karens, when folks call someone a Debbie Downer, right? We've had these terminologies for a very long time in the United States of America. And now because of the tribalism involved, in my opinion, the tribalism involved in the political conversation and the racial conversation, all of a sudden there's a significant pushback from some. But here's what's interesting. There was a recent study done, it was about a year ago, that showed that 91% of Karens do not mind the fact that people are called Karens because they're not Karens. They understand it. So the vast majority of those who are actually named Karen are not adversarial to the use of it because they understand what it's used for.
Okay.
All right, we cool on that?
I haven't changed my opinion, but I respect yours. Well,
you want me to rename them what?
No.
What do you want us to rename?
I mean, I don't want you to do anything. I mean, it's a cultural phenomenon well beyond you. You didn't create the term. You didn't you're using it. I'm just calling attention to the fact that it is, it's stigmatizing, and I think there are other more productive ways of Debbie Downer has the downer on the end of it, and I don't think that, like, if I was named, particularly as a guy named Kary, who is often thought to be a woman, I'm like sensitive to name. I'm reminded of that Saturday Night Live script where the guys. Where Nicolas Cage was named Osweepe, and when you read that, it doesn't sound like Osweepe. It sounds something like something we can't really say on the air. I'm just conscious of the power of words to stigmatize, and just wanted to bring it to your attention.
You know who I think your beef is with the original Karen, whoever the hell that is. The original Karen started this whole thing. Listen, I'm not turning the social tides of this because I can actually appreciate that there's one term that I can say in America and everybody knows what the hell I'm talking about, and it's called a Karen. All right, so I apologize to your lady and anybody that you know that may be offended by that term. I'm not going to stop using it. All right.
All right.
Okay.